Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat. Christmas in July, day 4. And my theme is mistletoe and wine. Again, you can choose to interpret this theme however you like. I popped into my pouch the My Favourites Things mistletoe cover plate. And then I just also included this overlapping Christmas word stencil and die set. Thought I might put the two together. Don't know if that's definitely what I'm going to do or not. I've not got a colour scheme. Obviously, mistletoe, going to be green. So I do seem to have put some cardstock in. I'm fairly confident that's from a journal I cut apart at some point. I think it'll be good for wet medium, so we'll see. Let's see what I do. For those who don't know, Christmas in July. This is my 3rd year of Christmas in July, and I've got a lot of reflection on my glasses. There we go, that's better. I do a Christmas project every day for the whole of July on video. There are 2 playlists, one for last year, one for the year before. And now there will be a playlist. By the time you're seeing this, I will have set up a playlist for this year. I'd love to have you join me. I have got a Facebook group where we do monthly themes around Christmas, and I would love you to subscribe. So please hit that bell now for notifications. Hit the subscribe, hit the notifications, then you'll see they'll come in your feed and you'll get notified new videos are up. I do make cards and scrapbook all year round. Don't always do videos every day, but in July I do. So, without further ado, I'm going to pop you in the overhead and let's get cracking. So I decided the cardstock was definitely good for a wet medium. I'm going to apologise right at the beginning of this video. I didn't position my camera particularly well, so a little bit will not be visible. It's so frustrating when I've done that. I must have just knocked it and it's tilted it. So yeah, you're getting only part of what I thought you were going to get. Anyway, back to what I'm doing. I decided I wanted to use my shimmer spritzes. I use these ones from Kingston Crafts from their holiday shimmer selection. And there is one that's called Mistletoe, which is the green, and also the one that says Christmas Lights, which is like a pearly white. And I just thought it would be nice to mix the two together. And I went for quite a splattery, messy kind of background. It does dry back. It's not as dark as it looks on the camera there. It becomes sort of more of a lighter colour green, but I think that works with mistletoe because I think mistletoe is a softer green, but maybe I'm wrong. It is now in my book. That's what it is. So I did give it a little bit of a boost by drying up with my heat tool. You'll have seen there that I did go off and clean up quite a lot after I'd used the spritzes. I always replace the caps that they come with onto the bottles rather than leaving the spray nozzles in, and then I clean out the spray nozzle so that it's running through clean water until it comes, it's spraying clear. Just stops the mica that's in those shimmer spritzes from clogging it. I just think it'll give it better life. So I did give a bit of a boost to the drying, and then I moved on to the sentiment and decided to just go for the greens. All greens for this card. So I've got 3 different colours of ink there, some of which probably aren't even available anymore. I think 2 of them no longer available from Stampin' Up. So I've got Garden Green, Parakeet Party, which is one of my favourites, and then Mossy Meadow, which I know is still available. This stencil I love. It's kind of like there are 3 stencils, and as it says on the tin, there's overlapping words. So the letters overlap, and it's kind of like 3 different stages. So you do one whole sheet in one colour, then you do the next stencil with another colour and another stencil with another colour, and I love it. Sometimes you have to be careful about your colour mixes, because obviously if you put red and green together, you're going to make brown in the middle, where they match, where they overlap. But yeah, when you're doing a monochrome type card like this one ends up being, it's absolutely fine. I went with the lighter colour of the Parakeet Party in the middle because I wasn't entirely sure how juicy my gumball green was. I knew it was kind of more of a grassy green. And I thought, oh, I think I need the lighter colour in between that and the mossy meadow. As it is, they look great all together. You'll see I had cut down my cardstock so it was the right size, which is the American card base size for this, and then it would fit on the grip mat, which is a waffle flower grip mat. Excuse me, my voice is suddenly gone croaky. I don't know why that is. I've probably talked too much today. And then the stencil sort of fits around the outside, so it keeps it in place. And I love the grip mat for doing stenciling like this. I think it's great. Okay, now it comes with this die that you can cut them all out in one go. I did mine with the Diamond Press Grand Marquise. It worked really well, no problems at all. As you can see, my folder is very bendy now already, which I think is the norm. It's still very usable, so it's fine. And then it also comes with the the dies for those stars. I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to end up using the stars or not. So I thought, well, I'll cut them out anyway. If I use them, great. If I don't, never mind. Also, I think it's a great set, this, for being able to create multiple sentiments in one go. Obviously, it does create the one thing that looks a little bit like a Christmas tree, so you can put the stars at the top, etc. But I very rarely use it as that, and I just tend to use it as Merry and Christmas, and then I'll use the Peace, Love and Joy, and then sometimes, very rarely, I'll use the Happy New Year. I did end up using Merry Christmas and the Happy New Year for this card because I popped the Happy New Year on the inside. Now, I've left my spritzed panel to dry, and now I am die cutting it with that cover plate. And I'm trying to keep hold of all the bits and pieces because I'm still umming and ahhing about how I want this to look. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted white on green, green on white, or the colour, like a darker coloured cardstock. So you'll see here, I'm kind of trying it out. I've cut it from the green, splattered one. I've cut it from white, and now I'm just deciding how I want it to look. So I'm sort of auditioning pieces here. Now I've popped into the pouch that I've got all the scraps left over from the cards I've made so far, because I've decided I'm just going to keep those off to the side because clearly I'm going to end up with quite a lot of cards that might be similar colours, so I thought it was easy to just keep those to the side. But that made me decide I wanted the garden green card base, not card base but background, and then instead of putting leaving this white one and doing it for another card, I instead decided to just stack this just to give a tiny bit of dimension. So I've stacked the white one on top, underneath, the one that I've spritzed. And now I'm just deciding how I want to finish it off, and I think, yeah, no, definitely the green. At first I thought I was going to go for a card base that was the craft, but I don't. I just go with the green, and then you'll see it in a bit. I change my mind about the card base. So I'm gluing everything down, and when I've glued it down, I'm then usually popping something heavy on, although in that case I didn't. I did on when I put the two die cuts together, I put something heavy on it. And then I'm just trimming off, so it's got a very tiny border around that cover plate. And then this is where I cut my card blank and then end up not using it. But, spoiler alert, if you stick around to the end of this video, you'll see that craft card gets used. But that's a spoiler. So instead, I took the 6x6 card blank and decided this was perfect, but I will trim it down so it's not a 6x6 card, because I didn't want it off to the side. I wanted it just to have that border of a white around it, and this worked perfectly. Again, apologies that quite often I'm off the camera angle. I should have realised where the camera was pointing, and I just hadn't. And now I sort of changed my mind about where I'm
positioning the sentiment, because originally it was going to be further down, then I thought to the left, and then I've gone sort of on this weird to the right and then to the left. Right, we're on to embellishments, and I decided I wanted to use some white sequins that I knew were in this mix from Hey Little Magpie. I've used this a few times so far, this series of Christmas in July. But I wanted to just use the white ones, but it turned out didn't have enough for the amount of glue dots I'd put down, or dots of glue that I'd put down. So I have to change my mind, and I go for a mix of the white sequin and then sort of a flat yellowy green sequin. So I do move a few of the sequins I've already placed down around to move them out of the way, and then I do add a few more in a few other places. I really like how it looks though, so I'm really happy that I didn't end up just having the white ones. I think adding in that extra shine and a different colour really worked. But it's still mistletoe, so it's still sort of like the creamy colours. I've not gone crazy and gone with red, for example, like you would have for holly berries. So that's the outside of my card pretty much done. There's nothing else I'm going to add to that, but I now need to work on the inside. So I'm taking that little scrap that is left over from the bottom of where I've die cut out. There is slightly less spritz there than there is on maybe the rest of it. And then I've got that little piece of the garden green, and I'm just going to cut them at an angle and stick them together so that there is a slight overlap of that sort of like banner. And then what you can't see very well, because again, off the end of the camera angle, is I am now adding the ampersand and the happy and the new year around that. And that is going to be a lovely panel to sit on the inside of the card. I don't need to create a panel as such that I would write on because it's a white card blank, but I think that just adds a nice touch. So here you go, here's the finished card. What do you think? I think it looks lovely. I'm really pleased with how it worked out. I really love all the different green tones. As I say, I really love that actually the happy accident of not having enough sequins led me to do something a tiny bit different, and I'm pleased that I managed to use the rest of the sentiment inside the card.
Bonus little high video. So finished making this, went and took my pictures. Very pleased with it. Couldn't bear to throw away the waste. What's wrong with me? I don't need another card, but I couldn't bear it. So I took adhesive down, I die cut it again from the dark green, and then I paper pieced it all together. So it's quite a flat card. It's not like prominent or anything. And then just added those stars and those sentiments on. What a fun card. Inside, little panel and some little stars. So, bonus extra. Do I have time to do bonus extra cards? No, I don't. Never mind. Bye.
So here you go, some close-ups of the bonus extra card that I made. Genuinely, I make enough Christmas cards in the year. I did not need to make more, but I just couldn't bear to throw away that pretty waste and thought, no, I'm going to do it. So this brings me to the end of today's video. Hope you've enjoyed. As I said earlier, please subscribe to see future videos. Leave me a comment below if you like both the cards, which was your favourite. And until next time, thank you for watching and bye-bye.